Wave of the Hand. Wave of the Hand. I've never really used Wave of the Hand effectively. AoE weak seems really good. I'm not sure why exactly you want to apply like 5 AoE weak, which seems like the dream for Wave of the Hand. It seems like 1 is pretty much enough, and Wave of the Hand unfortunately does not do that by itself. If it were a power or something, what's it just upgrade for? 2 weak, not really an improvement. Yeah, I don't think Wave of the Hand is a good card. I don't think I would pick it in almost any situation. So I'm going to take Conclude here, mostly just because I need more damage for AoE damage, in particular for the slab boss. Take Conclude. I think we can get away with upgrading here. We want to upgrade before this question mark, and then if this hurts us, we can rest. Also, at 33, we can tank 1 hit from the slime, which allows us to potentially set up a big vengeance germ. That was probably something to think about with the card choice I just did. That was a potential upside for what is it? The 2 attack retain card, because you can get into vengeance and then do flying sleeves at the correct moment to pop slime. I'm going to take Conclude upgrade. It can be really good for slime stuff. Here we go. Conclude would be really great right here. We can't block for as much as it's coming in, so we're going to cut through fate on this guy. So we want to cut through fate such that if we are forced to take a strike, we can use that strike to block. Maybe... okay, so there's 13 cards in deck. Cut Through Fate looks at 3 of them, and Empty Mind looks at 2 of them. So potentially drawing 5 cards this turn, basically. And one of them is Conclude. And Conclude is really the only card that matters. So we're going to play both of these and hope that we find Conclude. If we find Conclude, we finish the fight and take no damage. If we don't find Conclude, so our backup plan, if we draw 5 cards that aren't Conclude, which is, more than 50%, right? We are 8 out of 13 to fail that. If we don't draw Conclude, then we are hoping for, Vigilance. So we're going to Cut Through Fate first, and if we see Vigilance, I think we keep it, because they are attacking for 22. Vigilance, Empty Mind, costs no mana, can keep us on the path to drawing Conclude, and I guess it costs 1 mana, but Empty Mind costs 1 mana by itself. What I'm saying is Vigilance is free block, so Vigilance is 8 block, and then we still have the 13 from here. So we would end up taking 1 damage. So we block for 21, take 22. Battle Hymn is not going to do this. Okay, so we're going to Cut Through Fate. If we find neither Vigilance nor Conclude, then we are not going to take a strike. It's possible that we pitch both and still end up with a strike. In that case, we want to Cut Through Fate on somebody with 13 or less health so that we can strike that person. And then we would be facing 16 damage, and we can block 13 and take 3. So if we Cut Through Fate and get a strike, would we still Empty Mind? Let's think about that when we get to it. So we're going to Cut Through Fate U, because it puts 6 damage in range of being killed. Okay, we've got 2 strikes. As we talked about, we're going to mill both of those. Okay, we have vigilance, so we're gonna we'll talk about this as well. So we're going to vigilance implement, which means our worst case scenario is now taking 1 damage, and that is what's going to happen. So wallop, I did not think about. It can wallop this guy. It only actually blocks for 5. So if we wallop him and block for 5, it's just a 13, and we take 3, which is not bad. 3 was our sort of original. So next turn we're going to draw 5 of these. Worst case scenario, we still don't draw conclude, right? In that scenario, we most likely do draw Fear No Evil Empty Fist, so we can play every card. Okay, so Wallop sort of blocks for a net 15, right? Because it blocks for 5, it takes, blocks for net 11. Because it blocks for 5, it takes 6 damage off the board. But these two block for 13. And we're going to win this fight with Conclude. So I think it's better to take 1. It is. Oh, right. What class do we take that? Great. Okay. So hopefully we can perfect this fight. Conclude only does 12 now, which I did not think about. But we have 3 other attacks. We can only play 2 of them. So we're going to Eruption. Oh, wait, we're going to Fear No Evil, then Eruption and Strike. Okay. Which presumably is enough to knock down all the other people who are above 12. In fact, we could just Eruption and conclude, because... Okay. Alright, so let's talk about these cards. Okay, so next fight is the Slime Boss. So things that are good against Slime Boss are good here. Our plan against Slime Boss, as always, is to get him as close to 75, as close to 76 without that number as possible. So we're going to do 74 damage to him. And then do as much damage as we can in 1 turn. Ideally, before he attacks. We're definitely not getting him down to 76 on the first go through. We don't have enough damage for that. So probably we're planning on taking a hit. And that hit comes actually pretty close to killing us. So Third Eye is pretty attractive, helps us set up for stuff, and if it's in the hand, where he's hitting us, then it blocks. We're probably going to use both of these potions before he transforms. And I think we're going to smith. We're smithing pretty aggressively because we are going to take a lot of damage here. But you know, if we win the fight, we get healed by quite a bit. The more we heal before the fight, the less we heal. So it's risky, but I think in order to win Act 3 with this deck, we need to take that risk. So there's a bunch of good upgrades. Cut Through Fate is a really amazing upgrade. Basically says draw 4, but you can only play 1 of them. Eruption is a good upgrade. Reduces the cost. I think taking an Eruption upgrade is probably worse in Act 1 than it is at other times. The Eruption upgrade, after you know what your Act 1 boss relic is really good. But if that Act 1 boss relic, if you get offered Snecko Eye, you want to take Snecko Eye, and then the Eruption upgrade is absolutely worthless. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to do a Striker Defend. wallop upgrade is worth thinking about. 12 is a lot. Doing damage and blocking at the same time is really great. Upgraded wallop feels a little bit more like a dash. Which is neat in this fight. I think I'm going to take the wallop upgrade, both because it's really good and because it's good in this fight. Alright. So we've got Power Pot. It's a big decision about what to use right now. So if we get like God Form or whatever it's called, that's obviously great. But we also have a Lumify hand. So currently, it's not really very good to make something in that hand cost less. So it'll cost 1. And playing all these cards is not that valuable because 2 of them are defense, not defending either. It's possible that I could want to Third Eye and then pull something back with Liquefied Memories. I think most likely we're going to want that Liquefied Memories to like get Wallop back on the attack turn, if we can set that up. So unfortunately, one please not going to do that. Okay, so I am in a Power Pot. If it's fasting, we're a little bit sad. Well, no, we're not, because we have 4 on. Yeah, fasting is definitely so straight. Yeah, so we're going to take fasting. Go back to being a 3-mana back. Okay. Okay, so how many more turns? So next turn, Slime sets up, and then the turn after that, he attacks. And we want, ideally, to draw Wallop next turn. But do we want to be in vigilance mode? I think we want to get rid of all of these. So the thinking being, there are cards like Conclude and Wallop, Cut Through Fate, and Vigilance that are just better than these. Fear Table. We don't really want to draw cards next turn, but we do want to do damage. So maybe, I think I'm going to keep 1 strike. Keeping 1 strike, I'm sort of hoping that we draw like strike Wallop. So yeah, we're gonna keep strike, hope for Wallop. Okay, we got strike and Wallop. But we're not. Let's see, are we gonna play strike? So unfortunately, Vigilance is here. We can Cut Through Fate and look for Vigilance. But then, like, even if we find it... Okay, so if we Cut Through Fate, find Vigilance, and play it... then we have Eruption, Smite, Potion Wallop, Strike, and Conclude is like the best case scenario. I mean, it seems like a pretty good case scenario, so maybe that is worth going for. But okay, but there are bad outcomes from Cut Through Fate too, right? Bad outcomes are things like Eruption is on top. No, that's not a bad outcome either, because then we're just in Eruption. convince myself. Cut through fate is great. Cut through fate. We don't want either of these. If we cut both, though, we shuffle. We don't want to shuffle. So we're gonna take this strike. We don't want to shuffle because we need Wallop. We need the graveyard, so we push it up from memories. So next turn, we're gonna Fear No Evil Eruption, which gets us back to 2 mana, and then we're going to let's see, Smite and so Conclude does more damage than Smite, so we shouldn't save Smite, but it looks like we can. It looks like we're better off saving. Wait, no, we're better off Smite. So this turn we should Smite Strike, and the next turn Fear No Evil Eruption, Smite, Potion, Conclude. I think that's going to be enough to pop it. I'm not crazy about trying to pop it from moving 4. We've got a potion. We've done a lot of setting up as though we are popping him this turn. So this does 30. Okay, so we're doing 12 plus 30 plus 11. So 12 plus 30 is 42, plus 11 is 53, plus 38. So yeah, we're actually doing some pretty good damage here. I think they're actually good shit. So yeah, so now the question is, do we try to save that potion? Because he's already at just 13. 13 is a little bit inconvenient, because if we need to pop both the slimes, we have a hard time doing that. We could potentially lose this fight still if we don't kill someone else. If it goes to 13 and they both attack, I could probably pop one of them and I'm taking like 16 damage. But then the one that I pop splits, and then if they all attack, then I think we lose. So I think what we're going to do is we can good memories. Get him. And we're just going to take perfect. Okay. Conjure Blade is great. We have extra energy already. We might go up to 5 energy if there's a good one. If there's like a Slaver's Collar or something. Being at 5 energy is pretty intense for Conjure Blade. Obviously, already being at 4 energy, we were hoping for the Energy Form card. Okay, so let's take stock of what we got. We really need to be drawing cards if we want to take advantage of Cloak Clasp. I'm not sure if Cloak Clasp really scales well enough to be like a viable source of block in Act 2. And I didn't have really enough draw to take good advantage of it in Act 1. So it basically hasn't been super valuable. However, our boss relic could be Pyramid, in which case Cloak Clasp is kind of just like 10 metallicized. You know, it's like, I guess, like realistically, if we take Pyramid, we're going to want Cloak Clasp to be 5 metallicized because we don't want to miss out on draws. Although actually missing out on draws is fine if you're spending all your energy on good options, but that's difficult to guarantee. Blasphemy is interesting. I've never taken Blasphemy. Wow. Being able to go into Infinity whenever you want seems pretty good. Yeah, so Blasphemy costs -2 energy and triples your damage this turn. It also gets you out of Wrath, but that doesn't matter. Because if it attacks you, you die. So we don't have any retained synergy, although if we see Establishment, we probably take it, just because we have Mummified Hand. Okay, so what are the arguments for each? Conjure Blade is like a very all-in card, right? Like it's super powerful if you get whatever the God form thing, and you're casting Conjure Blade for 9 or 7 or something. You're doing 80 damage with it over and over. We don't really have that thin of a deck, and we don't have the God form thing. But nonetheless, spending 1 mana. So let's compare Ragnarok and Conjure Blade on a like 1-to-1 level. If you spend 3 mana on Conjure Blade, nothing happens right now, which is a disadvantage. So if your kitty yells at you, nothing happens, but you get a card that does 27 damage for 1. If you play Ragnarok for 3 mana, you get 5 damage. You get 25 damage, sort of randomly distributed. Is randomly distributed damage better or worse than expunge damage? There are situations where randomly distributed damage is better. If you're fighting like a group of things that are all pretty low, right? You got somebody at 5 and somebody at 10. Then random damage is better. But in almost all other situations, right? Like birds, slavers, in almost all other situations, Conjure Blade is better. Or rather, targeted damage is better. Okay, and then so Ragnarok is a little bit better sort of up front, because when you play it, it does damage. And Conjure Blade it sort of has better residuals because playing it the second time through the deck, it only costs 1, which is nice. If we Conjure Blade is also a little bit more flexible, so you can cast Conjure Blade for 2 or 4. If enemies aren't attacking, you can cast Conjure Blade for 4 and get a 36 damage for 1 card. Which is nice. Conjure Blade also allows you to manipulate your draws a little bit. If you have 4 cards in your deck and Conjure Blade in hand, you can put an expunger in there. The upgrades, Ragnarok upgrades to do 36 damage, um, whereas Conjure Blade, if we're still talking about the X equals 3 version, which is the most straight up comparison, the upgrade causes it to do 9 times 4 damage, which is 36 also. So Ragnarok catches up a little bit, and the variance for Ragnarok actually goes down as the damage goes up. Right? If you had a version of Ragnarok that did 100 damage, it wouldn't really matter that it was randomly distributed. Like, it would kill something, and then change targets. So if we're imagining a situation where we have like 8 strength, for example, then Ragnarok is much better than Expunger, because everything is dying if we play Ragnarok. But if we play Expunger, one thing is dying really, really hard. So yeah, there's a lot of going back and forth. Let's talk about 2 damage, or X's 2 Conjure Blade. So we have 4 energy right now. We might have 5, although it's unlikely. We've 4 energy, so we could spend 2 of it blocking, and then play Conjure Blade. So that would block something like Baseball's first attack, right? If we spent 2 energy blocking. Whereas with Ragnarok, we have 4 energy, so we don't have to spend our whole turn playing Ragnarok. But there's a lot more situations where it's like, well, we have to take a little bit of damage to play Ragnarok. We do have an energy potion right now. If we find Juzu, that might be kind of a precious potion that we are only popping. It's our only potion for the rest of the game. We don't really know that right now. Conjure Blade can also be 5, in which case it does 45 damage, which is significantly more than Ragnarok. And if we upgrade it, then it is 54 damage, which is just a lot of damage. And that's with no Wraith Form, right? With Wraith Form or Pen Nip, that turns into 108 damage, which is the sort of heart-killing potential that Ragnarok just doesn't have. For fun, if you have Pen Nib and Divinity active, that's 324 damage for 1 moment. All this being said, Divinant Blasphemy seems really great. Blasphemy Plus has Retain, and being able to say, I have lethal if I get triple damage and get 2 extra mana. Seems like something that's really valuable. Because since it retains, you kind of get to choose, right? You just say, well, if I had triple damage right now, I could end this fight without taking, whatever, this next 8 damage that I'm otherwise forced to take. And not having to take 8 damage is really good. So I guess what Blasphemy is really is it's a damage-powered block card, right? Because Blasphemy allows you to take a fight that you were going to win later and win it now, therefore defraying the damage that you would have taken between now and then. So it's a bit all in, right? It's like the Act 1 strategy, because of the Act 1 elites, is that you have to take a lot of damage. But in Act 2, you need to start being able to block. But Blasphemy says, no, don't ever block. Just get a bunch of damage and try and cheese people out of fights. Obviously, none of these cards block, although Blasphemy kind of does. Blasphemy can defray damage by causing victory. Blasphemy also, if you are in calm, which is, remember this is, so okay, the real problem with Blasphemy is we've got cards like Empty Fist and Empty Mind and Fear No Evil, and like Eruption. So our damage is kind of saying, don't be in Divinity. Obviously, Wallop is amazing with Divinity. Well, actually, it's not. Wallop is amazing with Divinity, not amazing with Blasphemy. Because with Blasphemy, it just does 12 damage. If you need block, you lose. So I think Blasphemy is a little bit too high variance, and doesn't synergize with the deck at all. And Contemplate is better than Ragnarok, unless you have strength scaling. If you have strength scaling, Ragnarok is probably better, unless you have strength scaling and a bunch of mana, in which case you don't need either of these cards. You're already winning. So pick Contemplate. Okay. So now I got Astrolabe, Empty Cage, and Fusion Hammer. Fusion Hammer is the only energy relic here. It puts us up to 5 energy. We probably want to get some upgrades. We want like Eruption, Cut Through Fate, Third Eye, Empty Mind, maybe Battle Hymn. Plus, we still need more cards, right? Like this deck is not done. We definitely want that Conjugate upgrade. Although it is worth saying, if we take Fusion Hammer, we kind of always get the Conjugate upgrade, right? Because we have an extra mana, so we don't even need to upgrade it. We just get the effect of it. We are already like avoiding shops because we have Ectoplasm. Yeah. Just gonna take a quick break here. Is this actually working at my live? Yep. It's got my face and stuff. Just nobody's watching. Okay. Yeah, I guess there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other people who are This person has 0 viewers. Everyone else who's on 0 viewers has no camera, except for this guy. It's interesting. Other people are doing cameras higher up. Okay, back to something. So, okay, Empty Cage and Astrolabe both remove cards, basically. So I could remove Strikes, which are not good in mech. This deck is missing a bit of an identity, and you tend to get things that put you in stances when you do transforms as a watcher. There are a lot of cards that put you in stances. Actually, let's I have advertised this as the channel where we explain everything. So we're gonna go into a really deep Astrolabe hole right now. We're gonna talk about this. Okay, so we're gonna look up all the Watcher cards. I'm can get. I'm going to reconfigure my scene here. Scene. We're just going to add a window capture for Chrome. Okay, there we go. Why is this black? Let's try this again. Let's just add display capture. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So let me actually, okay, let me put the webcam on top so that I'm in it. Okay. So remember, we are looking for astrolabe value for a deck that switches stances. So we've got Empty Fist, Empty Mind, Fear No Evil. We're trying to go in and out of stances. We also want mana stuff for Contemplating. So we're going to go through here and we're going to mark all the cards that we can get as either, we're going to rate them all from 1 to 5, and we're going to average it. Okay. So I'm going to open up Bill's Sublime Text thing here, and on the other side we're going to do this. Okay. So we can't get any of these. These are starter cards. Bowling Bash is, it's not good. It's not terrible. I'll give it a 2. Consecrate, pretty terrible. We're going to give it a 1. Crescendo, pretty good for stance dancing. Go to 4. Crush Joints, go to 3. Cut Through Fate, 4. Empty Bodies, about as good as you can get. Same with Empty Fist. Evaluate. We do have, there is some value from drawing cards. I'll give this a 2. Flurry of Blows is a really good option. Flying Sleeves, I'll give it 2. Follow Up as a 1. That's like a removable card. Halt is pretty good in a stance dancing deck, assuming we find more ways to go into Vigilance. Just Lucky is poor but not bad. Pressure Points is terrible. Prostrate is bad. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 1. Protect is just kind of a good card, so I'm gonna give it a 3. It's not really valuable for us, but Sash Whip, I'm gonna give it a 2. Third Eye, a second copy of Third Eye, I think is a bit much. I'll give that a 2. Tranquility is a really good source of calm. I do not want a second Battle Hymn, that would be disastrous. Carve Reality is kind of okay. Collect, what do you say about Collect? Well, Collect synergizes with, whatchamacallit, Expunger card. I don't want a second Conclude, but it's not terrible. Deceive Reality is not great. Empty Mind is good. I don't really want a second copy of it, but it's just good. Fasting is just a really solid card. I don't know if I necessarily want it for this deck. Let's see, let's take a peek here. If I get fasting, then like the value of things like Just Lucky goes way up. I'm gonna get fasting 5 just because it's such a good card. Okay, Fear No Evil's really powerful. Foreign Influence, not great. Foresight pushes us in kind of an interesting direction. We've already got quite a bit of Scry, so we might end up as a sort of Scry synergy build. Indignation, I think, is terrible. Oh wait, no, just kidding. It enters Wrath if you're not in it. Inner Peace is top tier. Like Water is not amazing for the build. Meditate, it changes your stance, so it's probably good. Give it 5. Mental Fortress is amazing for stance dancing. Nirvana is actually pretty good for the deck just because we have Scrying. Perseverance, we don't have a ton of synergy with. It's a good card though. Prey is pretty lousy. Reach Heaven. What can you say about Reach Heaven? It's just, it's bad. It's only one. Rushdown. Even in Stance Dance decks, I have found Rushdown to be bad. So I'm going to give it a 3 because this is a Stance Dancer. Sanctity, I will give it a 3 too. It's fine. Sands of Time, this isn't an establishment deck, so I'll give it a 2. 4 turns is a long time. Signature move is balls, it's terrible. Simmering Fury, I'll give that a 4 for this deck. Drawing 3 cards is pretty good, because remember, we're evaluating this in the context of Astrolabe, where we upgraded. Study is not great. I'll say 3. 11 block and makes an attack cost 0. So it was interesting. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 just because I need it. I need block. But I am also reducing the density of attacks in my deck. Talk to the Hand is pretty much just a 5-star card whenever you see it from me. I like it. Tantrum, 4-star, it gets awkward sometimes. Another upgraded Wallop is good. Wave of the Hand is remove quality. Weave is quite good, just because of all the scrying I'm doing. Wheel Kick, 2. Windmill Strike, I do not have Establishment, I'm going to give that a 1. That's pretty bad. Worship also gets a 1. Wreath of Flame also gets a 1. Alpha, if we are sort of pivoting our deck towards being more defensive, then alpha is pretty reasonable. So I'll give it a 4. Blasphemy we just passed on. This is the upgraded version, and we passed it in the face of some stiff competition. So I'll give it a 4. Brilliance, I don't mind. It's 1 mod, deals 16, and then also it makes any mod resource really good. Conjure Blade is good, but I don't want 2 copies of it, so I'm going to give it 3. Deus Ex Machina is not good. Diva Form is great. I'm going to upgrade Deus Ex Machina because we do have Conjure Blade, which I forgot about. Devotion is currently quite bad, and Establishment is just a really good card. Judgment, it seems like I always get Judgment from transform effects on Watcher, and I hate it. It's so bad. Lessons Learned is a top tier quality card. Good 4. Master Reality is poor. Do I have Omniscient Synergy? No. It's a pretty good card, though. I guess I'll go to 3. I don't know. Upgrade Ragnarok. Sure. No, I'll do 3. Scrawl, 0 cost. I would give a 5 to that. That is an excellent card, especially with Cloak Clasp. Spirit Shield is great, also with Cloak Clasp. For Vault is a 5 whenever you see it for me. And Wish, 4 too. Okay, so I got a bunch of numbers. Let's paste them in a spreadsheet. Boop. There we go. And then we're going to do equals sum of A1 colon A divided by count of A1 colon A. So the average is a 3, more or less, which is sort of average. But we're comparing them to strikes. And if I saw a strike on that list, I would have 1, because strike is bad. Okay, so now we just have to compare this to the other options. So I can upgrade 3 strikes to, on average, value 3 cards. Let's remind ourselves what a value 3 card looks like. It's something like fuck, what was the last 3 card? Like Alpha or something? Like Wheel Kick. Wheel Kick's a 3 card. Like Weave. So yeah. So on average, 3s are pretty good. So I'm upgrading 3 strikes pretty significantly. Or I can just remove 2 strikes. I am having a little bit of a deck size problem. But I'm also honestly having a bit of a deck identity problem. Just like I'm trying to stance dance, but I don't have any rewards based on stance dancing. So yeah. Okay, so we're done with that thing. So let's just, can I just move it down? Yeah, perfect. Okay. So I can just like pop back into full screen anytime. Cool. Okay. Okay. So now we're done talking about it. I think we need Astrolabe to do something for us in order to have this deck be good enough. And we need to find something in Act 2 and upgrade it. So I don't think Fusion Hammer is going to be one. 5 energy is pretty good. But being on 5 energy with a bunch of strikes is not good. Okay, here we go. Okay, what the fuck just happened? So we got a bunch of draw and some monstrous energy. It's great because this brilliance does like almost as much damage as all 3 of those strikes. like 3 strikes does 18, brilliance does 16. And it doesn't even exhaust me. Brilliance is such a monster. I kind of just want to get the deck down to like nothing but brilliance and mantra. Like that would be pretty dope. But that's not really what we're looking at here. So, okay, so we have to keep an eye out for mantra cards now. So, Simmering Fury, also really interesting. It's good with Cloak Clasp, it's good with Stance Dancing stuff. I really need that 0-cost attack that comes back whenever you get Dance Dances. Because I currently have no payoff for my Stance Dancing. Okay, so we're trying to avoid chops, hit fires, and hit elites. Here's Familiar Fire. Literally later. Could do a 2 elite path with Crystal. 3 question marks is a bit much. I can't go this way because there's no elites in the shop. Forced to chop. I can't go this way because there's a forced shot. So basically, we just have to go this way. Okay. Back to sort of tactical decision making. So this blocks for 13. He's hitting me for 14. I would like to block for 1 extra. Co-clasp is going to get me that 1 extra. So we're almost certainly doing that. Let's cut through fate and see what we're looking at. So I'm just taking a look at these to sort of remind myself the quality of card I can expect if I cut through fate and don't pick any of them. There's no gotchas. It's not like I'm gonna see Diva form and think, oh shit, I should have. Actually, okay. So I'm definitely gonna take the worst case scenario is I get Conjure Blade. Let's see. We're not really actually all in on Conjure Blade here. Conjure Blade is good in the fight. But we aren't really required to use it. Okay, so we're going to cut through fate, and we're going to leave both of these cards. So we're going to draw Simmering Fury, and then next turn we're going to draw Empty Fist, which seems just like a really good set of outcomes. Okay, we can double defend. Battle Hymn is good, Simmering Fury is better. Alright, we're mad. Mad we have Brilliance, Conclude, and Empty Fist, so I think we probably should win here. Let's just start off with that. So if we Empty Fist, we... the problem with Empty Fist and Conclude is if I want to play them both, then like either Conclude is into Narrate form, or I don't play Empty Fist. Wow, Conclude is so much damage. Jeez. It's like I only gain 2 damage by playing Empty Fist. It's 1 mod deal 2 damage in Superstance. So how much damage to kill him? So 12 plus 34, is it? Yeah, 34. 12 plus 34 is 46, so he would have 11 health left. So I'm not doing that. I could Vigilance Empty Fist to play all the cards. Let's see. So if I would Vigilance Empty Fist, which will only do 9 damage. And then I have 2 mana left, and I would like Steady and Conclude. It's kind of boring. It does peel off 2 of his plated armor, but I could peel off 3 with Strike into this Conclude. I'm not taking damage. So the only advantage would be developing Steady, basically, which is nowhere near as good as doing damage. I suspect this is different. Yeah. It's too bad that the Mystery Potion is a shot relic, because I would really like to have both Collect Plus and Conjure Blade do extra stuff. None of these do Mantra. None of them really help with Stance Dancing. Probably shouldn't take any of them. It's hard to resist Collect Plus. I will take Collect Plus. I can't gain gold, so this might be a lot of this thing. Okay, here's the last of my gold. Let's see. So, can we kill one? I don't think that's enough damage. 7, 23, 32. So the plan is probably Cut Through Fate, Defend the Possibilities, Fist. It's kind of garbage plan. Maybe this is my energy. Does this count as gaining 10 mantra? I have to empty myself. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Let's start with Empty Mind and plan on using energy pots. Energy pots aren't that good. Boy, what a pile of crap. I guess I'll take Third Eye. So then we're like Third Eye, defend, brilliance. Leave it clear for next time. I don't know, it's not terrible. Okay, so they are hitting for 22. I need 8 block. This makes 8 block, but this also makes 8 block. And this also doesn't come. The real question is, how much can I upgrade Conjure Blade? If I just Conjure Blade for 4, I get 4 block from Cook Clasp. Taking me to 18, I would take 4 damage. but then it's highly likely that I would draw a 36 damage expansion next turn. But if I wall up and then draw an 18 damage exposure, that's not that bad either. We're gonna run out of time in this fight now, so let's contemplate now. Okay, we got it. So I think the play is Eruption on you, Expunge on you, Collect. And then we're basically just hoping to draw Expunge again. Ooh, we did. Yep, no money. Okay, so Halt. I keep saying this is a stancing build, but I have to stop saying that because we don't have the attack. So there's no value out of stancing. This is just like a standard block and tackle build. With Contemplate to finish and like Mantra Synergy. Mantra Synergy. So with Prostrate gets me. What Prostrate gets me is some mantra, which is nice. You really need like 3 mantra cards for Prostrate to be good. I don't have enough space left in my deck to start taking Prostrate now. I'll take a Worship. I'm not going to take a Prostrate. Okay. Halt. We do go into Wrath sometimes. Going into Wrath and then blocking, I don't think is something we're trying to do. We're trying to go into Wrath and then win. Or dance out of it. Protect is quite good. We don't have any retain synergy stuff. We have quite a bit of... do we have quite a bit of block? Our block is mostly coming out of basic defense at this point. It would be nice if it were upgraded. I think I'm going to skip it because I have too many upgrades I need to give. Actually, that's not true. The only upgrade I really need is Conjugate and Cut Through Fate. I don't really want to turn that 2 into a 3. Not right now. Okay. I'm definitely playing Simmering Fury. Damage isn't that important. So we're just going to play Simmering Fury Collect. Okay. So we're in Wrath. Brilliance is like a snack. I'm just going to play all the Zero Cost stuff because why wouldn't you? Okay. Oh, the Zero Cost stuff that doesn't change the stance around the turn or something. We're just going to play Brilliance while we're in Wrath form. And then I will Conjugate for 6. Pretty exciting stuff. With Insight and Empty Mind, I'm almost guaranteed to get Expunger which does 54 damage. But that's not actually enough to kill. See, okay, so we did get Expunger. We can't get into Wrath. So we need to block for 18. We have 12 in hand. And there's no block in that pile. So we can take 6 damage. Or we can use our Ambrosia Pot, which I don't think we want to get. Oh wait, there's a Hail Mary here. So I can mill all these with Third Eye. And then cut through Fate. And maybe get something good. Oh, here we go. Undenied. Oh, look at you. That's like 40... Sorry, 54 plus 16. Yeah, it's, wait. Yeah, it's like almost exactly 54 plus 16, 70, 60. And I have just enough there. Neat. Now I've got 2 Ambrosia Potions. Hooray! Alright, that's going to be it for the stream for right now. I want to do some actual work. Boy, I wish that I could get one person watching the stream. Maybe it is worth it to like make another account and use it to watch myself. Yeah, since I started playing, like a bunch of people like moved ahead of me. You know, we're gonna keep going for another hour. Okay. My voice is sitting here. I don't usually talk so much. So second wall seems really bad. We're not even really using the first one very well. And it's not upgraded. Fear No Evil, we have, I feel like, enough stance stuff, since I have no support for it, basically. The dream of Fear No Evil Empty Mind looping forever is not happening with this deck. Consecrate the Grand Sword is good. Okay. So Worship, we're excited about. Let's see. What's Worship plus 2? I guess it's probably like 7 or something. So there's Flurry of Blows. That's what we've been looking for. So, okay. Indignation also somewhat interesting. Mental Fortress. Maybe this is more of a Mental Fortress deck than a Flurry of Blows deck. Because we are basically trying to contemplate people, right? And Worship is so expensive. Like, Flurry of Blows is great when you're changing into and out of Vengeance form, right? Mental Fortress is great when you're changing into and out of Calm form, which is more what we're doing. Also, Mental Fortress feels less like adding a bad card to the deck. Whereas when you draw Flurry of Blows, you are sad. Flurry of Blows has problems where like your shuffle order is now super important. And I don't have a lot of ability to control my shuffle order. I guess I do have quite a bit of drawing and some scry. So maybe that's not true. But I think we can take the Mental Fortress. We're going to upgrade something. Maybe Mental Fortress right away. Conjure Blade. Great Eye is quite good. Cut Through Fate is good. That one's actually bad. It's like I don't want that. Empty Mind. It's pretty good. Eruption, now that it's Act 2, that is definitely a consideration. So I think Conjure Blade currently is kind of doing fine killing people, and I don't really need an upgrade for it. I'm going to upgrade my Fortress because I really need that payoff for all the stupid Stance Dancing cards that I have. Well, this is going to hurt. If I go into Divine, then this does fucking 30 plus 18. It's 48, so I can just one-shot him. Yeah, it seems like I should do that, just for the purposes of blocking. And these together do 42. Runs down. Thanks for Cleave for being there just in time. Probably fine enough damage to kill him. Don't think we're going to want that defend next turn. Develop Study. Everything is way too late. The fight is already over. I don't like doing this. Do I want to do that? I don't think I do. I want to draw a Conjure Blade. Yeah. I guess that I can Conjure Blade and then just draw it immediately. So I Conjure Blade for 4, it does 36 damage. Yeah, so that's lethal. Okay. So Conjure Blade for 4. Draw this. Okay. Holy shit! What the fuck is this card pick? Jesus. Whoa. It's a little bit late for Lessons Learned. And everything's already upgraded. I mean, I've got some upgrades I can use, but mostly I'm pretty set. How good is Weave right now? Because these are like among the last cards to add that currently I have 2 cards in Scry. But drawing a 0 mana attack is just really bad. And, let's see, is Talk to the Hand good? So we put Talk to the Hand on like the heart or something, and then expunge it for 6. That's neat. I've never had a situation where Talk to the Hand is not amazing, so I'm going to take Talk to the Hand. this is such a... Fuck you, Curry. Alright, here we go. We finally get to pay off for Matryoshka. So it's... This is so cruel. I can't believe it. I could buy some courier ceramic chip. Yeah, I'll take it. This is... Jeez, if I had any chat, I would ask for an F in the chat. This is upsetting. Do I take the meal ticket? I wasn't planning on fighting hard. Yeah, I was thinking I would just skip the heart, because I'm just trying to clam ascensions, not beat the heart. I guess technically this gives me a higher win percent. It's really unsatisfying. Okay, we need to get through this fight without taking too much damage. Development talking again seems like the obvious move. Okay, so we can do 9 damage. We'll get 2 more turns of plus. We're currently getting 4 turns of miracle plus, which seems kind of excessive. So we're just going to okay, so he's attacking for 24, we get block for 14, we're going to find 10 block. We can do that, it costs 3. Alternately, we could just... we have 6 mana, spend 3 of it blocking, 3 on Conjure Blade. It's kind of a shit compromise, but... yeah, it's really important to... oops, definitely want to... So we're only blocking for 9. However, we can use our Divinity Potion to do... so the root is a 9. But it divides per way, so I don't do the math. So 18 times 3, which is 30 plus 4, which is 54. 54 damage is pretty good. I was doing it for blocking purposes, but I feel like you just win. So currently it does 18 plus 12 plus 6 is more. Alright, we'll do it. Because we're blocking. It's like we're defraying like 15 damage in it. How did that do? Huh, it didn't stack the way I expected. Okay, so they do 9 damage by default. We're down to 6 because of... oh wait, I was thinking that we did 2/3 damage when it doesn't do this 25% damage, so the random changed. Okay. Second copy attack by hand? I mean... okay. Do I want 2 elites or 1? There's a lot of hallway fights here, though. This just gets me a little question mark off. Yeah, I'll take this elite. I'm ready for one right now, so I might as well take one. think we need to cut through fate to determine what we should be doing this turn. I guess it's playing a lot of powers. So we should be able to get vigilance. We should be able to play the whole hand. So I'm going to empty fist first so I can stay in vigilance mode. Okay, so Smite kills you. So he's attacking for 30, which is crazy. My max block is talk to the hand, attack, defend. Or actually, attack is the same. Talk to the hand, this one does 3, and then 5, 10. So my max block is 24. Just kind of sad. I can't drink that potion. I think let's develop both top of hands. And take 5 damage to develop this triangle pulse. We want to not draw this turn. So we're going to do 20 damage to you, just to take you off the field. This might be clean. Okay, and then the plan this turn is to Conjure Blade for a bunch. Okay, so I could Conjure Blade for 8 right now, but then I would take lethal damage. Well, technically, let's see, what is the root? I've already taken damage this fight, so the perfect is off the table. Let's see. So what if I Conjure Blade for 6 and then try and draw my Conjure Blade? Which is guaranteed unless the bottom 2 cards are inside of Conjure Blade. Which is pretty unlikely. So that would block for 30. Which is definitely enough to keep me out of dying. Oh, it would actually block for 35. How much did he actually gain for? It's 28 minus 14, which is 42. Yeah, it's blocking for 35. It's pretty reasonable. Okay. Do I have enough hand space? Oh, I do, because I can smite. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have no hand space right now, so because Conclude is better than smite. Defend plus blocks for a little bit more. Hopefully it does. But damage is quite relevant. Oh my god, I blocked her because I keep forgetting the cost. Looks like there is not much to think about this turn. I think we're going to Simmering Fury Wall Smite. Since we're Simmering Fury, we should do this now. We should definitely have lethal with this. Yeah, we did have lethal this time. We're going to stop. So that's good. There's fasting. Do we do fasting? I don't think we do. Just Lucky is quite good now that we have 2 copies of Talk to the Hand. The deck's kind of full. Game audio is a tad high. It makes it tough to hear you. Thank you for the feedback. Also, thank you for coming to the stream. You're the first viewer I have ever had. Congratulations. Kuthilik. I will turn the game audio down. Okay. Thank you. Kuthilik, since you are here, can I talk to you a little bit? What's your deal? I recently quit my job to be an indie developer, and so I'm trying to use Twitch to build an audience for my games, and trying to make a brand of talking about games a lot. So I'm trying to think a lot about all my decisions. I'm going to pass on all these for right now. There's not a whole lot to think about this turn. I think we're going to start with Cut Through Fate. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, and I really like roguelikes, and Slay the Spire in particular, and card games. I used to work for Blizzard making Hearthstone, and so I play a lot of that. But that seems like a really challenging Twitch market. There's a lot of people in there. Let's see. So we want to see more cards because this turn is not very exciting. So do we Cut Through Fate to see cards or Third Eye? I think Cut Through Fate because it does damage, and getting to 30 damage on the Centurion is really important so that the Mystic spends her second turn healing. So let's Cut Through Fate here. Neither of these do any damage, and damage is the only thing we care about doing right now. Entering Vigilance is nice, but we don't have Mental Fortress up, and we're not receiving any attack damage, so it's not really super necessary right now. There's a marginal play here where you could take Vigilance and try and cancel it to get Conjure Blade value, but I think I'm going to rely on the collect mana later on to get that. You say you're a student finishing up your English degree. It's too bad you went on medical leave. I'm sorry to hear that. You were streaming also. That's cool. What games do you stream? So we got Study. So Study helps us normalize our draws a little bit. Also with Mummified Hand, it should let us play most of the rest of our hand's turn. The best case scenario is that Study, the Mummified Hand proc lands on Wallop, So we're going to talk to the hand and strike and then study. There's an argument to be made that we could third eye to try and set up our next turn a little bit better. I actually kind of like that argument, just because next turn we're getting attacked for sure, so it would be nice to leave some block cards on top. So I think we're going to talk to the hand and third eye and try to leave block cards on top. We need to collect before Conjure Blade ideally, so I'm going to leave that there. And Fear No Evil, Empty Mind is a crazy good combo. So we're just going to leave those all in place. And then we're going to try and land this on Lob. Hey, we hit it. Okay, so now we've done almost 30 damage, so we're pretty locked in on Mystic Healing. I haven't played Wizard of Legend. It's on my list. I keep meaning to try it out. Slay the Spire I would highly recommend. I am Ascension 20 on all the characters except for the Watcher. I'm trying to get up there with that as well. Okay, so I think probably we are going to... Oh, Fear No Evil, Empty Mind is not a combo right now because nobody's attacking us. So that's unfortunate. We can Eruption, but that's basically just a waste of mana. So we're going to collect this turn. Empty Mind is not very appealing. It spends 1 mana and draws 2 cards, and those cards that we draw will give me the opportunity to spend more mana, but the goal this turn is actually not to spend mana, it's to collect for as much as possible. Although I think we do need to give Mystic some damage to heal. Does she heal at 20 or 30 is the question. Let me look that up really quick. Oops, there's a Steam Workshop. Oh boy. Okay, if any enemy can be healed by 16, so we've definitely passed that threshold, so we're going to just spend a lot of money and collect here. Which is maybe excessive, but that's fine. Okay, so now he doesn't need to get healed anymore. We're in a bit of a pickle where we can't generate any block this turn, other than this 5. So that's too bad. Mental Fortress is actually good if it hits Defend or Conclude, because then we can conclude after Conjure Blade. This is obviously when we want a Miracle Conjure Blade. So maybe we should just defend first and guarantee that it hits Conclude. So obviously Miracling. What's the difference between Conjure Blading for 4 and 5? I think it's not a ton. Let's see. So if we Conjure Blade for 4, then we're doing 36 damage. And if we Conjure Blade for 5, we're doing 45 damage. Yeah, I don't think that difference is worth... But Conclude doesn't actually do that much damage. It just says 16. So I think I'll just take the chance on Mental Fortress, because we're definitely going to defend either way, but I would prefer to defend for free than to get a guarantee, or than to get Conclude this turn, because I don't really need Conclude in this fight. Okay, we got Defend, which I guess was the good outcome. And so we're expunging for 5. Also didn't consider the Cloak Clasp. We got 1 extra block because Conclude was in our hand. Okay, so now we've got Talk to the Hand Expunger, which generates 10 block, which is nice, but it's not much. And there's no block in any of these cards, so we need to start killing people. I have 3 insights, counting this one, so I can force a shuffle. So I'm going to play Expunger and then force that shuffle and maybe get Expunger back. We didn't get Expunger, we did get Wallop, which is something. Okay, so we're currently blocking for 28. We're not figuring out Cloak Clasp. But I think we're also killing the Centurion's turn, so it doesn't really matter what we do. So if we Simmering Fury Brilliance. Okay, all right. Good to talk to you, Kuthilik. Let's see. So we want to block out, but we can just block out by killing him, right? So this says 25, and he's at 23. But then we don't develop Simmering Fury. Simmering Fury helps us get back Expunger and get a kill with it. So I guess we're going to use the Miracle here. We're going to use Miracle to Brilliance, Empty Fist to kill him, and then battle him. That was a bit of a mistake. I should have guaranteed that hit Wallop. I don't think it matters because we are not taking any damage this fight. Almost for sure. Yeah. Okay. Worship is one of the cards that I said I might take if I saw it. Picking a 25th card is sort of marginal. I'd prefer not to do it, but going into Divinity is really good, and getting extra damage on Brilliance is also pretty good. So if we go into Divinity sort of naturally, Brilliance is going to do 26 naturally times 3 is like 78 damage. So that's it's pretty significant. Worship does cost 2 mana. Assuming that we're going to go into Divinity by casting 2 Worships, or the same copy of Worship twice, it costs sort of a net 1 mana, since you get the second one costs negative 1 mana. Boy, yeah, I don't know. Planning for, Brilliance the second time through the deck seems worse than planning on just Conjure Blade killing people the second time through the deck. So if I'm taking Worship, it would have to be because I plan on upgrading it. Because if it's upgraded, then I can retain it until Expunger comes into my hand. Then I can get triple damage Expunger stuff. You know what? I've convinced myself, because now if I can retain it, then I can also wait until Wallop comes into my hand. We can finally get some Wallop synergy in the build. Because Wallop for triple damage is 36, and 36 block is pretty good. Okay, so I'm taking Worship. Okay, I can't have gold. Usually I don't take this dagger, at least not this late. But I usually don't think about it this much because usually the gold is pretty good. Let's see, so if this deck currently has no side quests, so I can just end the fight whenever I want to, and that tends to be with Expunger. Although in that last fight with the Centurion Mystic, there were a lot of different options for how to end the fight, because it was just Mystic. Kaka! Hi, Akiran Navarra. How are you doing? Yeah, just talking about whether I want that dagger. Losing 6 health is kind of a big deal. I'm probably resting here anyway. Losing 6 health obviously could make me die to this fight, especially if it's like Book of Stabbing. But the 50 gold is way worse than normal because I have Ectoplasm, so I can't actually gain the gold. But just having a card in the deck is bad, right? Because it's 15 damage on one card, which seems fine, but the things that 15 damage does is not very impressive, right? Like, we're trying to talk to the hand and get Expunger for block and damage, and it's not really helping us with that plan. So I think we're going to skip the dagger and get nothing out of it. And hopefully not die to Book of Stabbing. So, let's see. This turn, we have no way to draw. And we have no way to enter a stance. So we probably want Study. We can play our whole hand if Study's Mummified Hand proc hits Worship. So basically we're just going to play everything and Study last. There's not really any interesting decision to be made here. Alright, Horncleat has procced, so that's nice. Let's see. We can take kind of a wild line here and do Fear No Evil Eruption Wallop, which would block for 24, but then it would increase the incoming damage from 21 to 42. So the net block there is only 3. And then we're in Eruption mode, which we maybe can't get out of next turn, so that seems bad. We could go into Vigilance, which blocks out, and then Conjure Blade for 2. Book of Paper Cuts sounds really awful to me. I don't know. It's been years since I've gotten a paper cut. It's you know, the terror that braces your soul when you handle paper has sort of left me. But the next time I get a paper cut, I will be very careful handling paper for the next week. I think blocking out is pretty good here, considering I'm at 20 health. It seems like it would be a problem if I just died. So I think the play is Vigilance Conjure Blade. I'm not super excited about it. We're going to have to win with that Worship, since I'm Conjure Blading for 2. But Book of Stabbing is a race, so we can't afford to wait for the third shuffle for Expunger to be going off. All right. I think we are going to Third Eye and then Empty Mind. We need to get some blocking going this turn, and Third Eye is a great way to make sure we're not drawing into garbage cards. But we'll keep Brilliance. The damage is pretty relevant. 21 damage now, because we've got 5 Mantra. And then Insight sort of prevents us from knowing exactly what we're going to draw, but it's the way of things. Okay, play the Insight. Okay, so that's good. We got Talk to the Hand, which is something we really need. We got it before we got Expunger. So we're going to play Talk to the Hand and Brilliance. I think we're going to skip Simmering Fury. Is that a good idea? Yeah, there's no way in here for us to cancel out of Simmering Fury, so we would have to rely on Insight giving us another stance, which is just not likely enough. Unless we think that we're almost guaranteed to lose this fight, and we need to take kind of a wild option, which is a possible line. Insight plus Cut Through Fate actually does give us quite a bit of reach through our deck, and Mental Fortress means that being in a stance is good, so that we can, the canceling out of the stance gives us block. It also just draws 3 cards, which guarantees we're getting this Talk to the Hand and that Expunger. Alright, I've talked myself into it. We're going to use Simmering Fury. which I guess means that we're going to collect for just one. But that's fine. So collect is mainly in the deck to synergize with Conjure Blade, and we have already burned our Conjure Blade. So collect is not super valuable. I kind of prefer it to be exhausted and out of the way. We are taking a bunch of damage though here. We're taking 9, I think. We could take 1 fewer if we just left collect in hand, because of Coat Clasp, but I don't think that is the right way to play the game. Alright, so here we are in Rage against Book of Stabbing. So we're definitely going to use that Talk to the Hand. We've got kind of a hand size problem. I'm sorry, I tapped my microphone. We've got a hand size problem. So Talk to the Hand plus Expunger blocks for, this blocks for 2, and then this blocks for 10. He is hopefully attacking for 7 times 4 is 28. So blocking for 10 means we're only short by 8 block to survive with 1. So let's start with that, and then shuffle. Actually, do we want Cut Through Fate to be in our hand when we shuffle? I don't think we can afford that. Okay, so we did get Empty Fist, so we can get out, which is good. We definitely want a Mental Fortress before we do that. Okay, so I wasn't thinking about where the Mummified Hand proc goes. We don't have anything that costs 2. So we should use this Insight to try and find something that costs 2. Okay, got a bunch of blocks. So this potion is Fairy in a Bottle. If you would die, you heal the 30% of your max HP instead. And discard this potion. It would heal us to, let's see, 25, and it doesn't actually like block damage. So if you're at 1 and you take 10 damage, I would be at 16. So it's not a great potion. It'll probably come up in this fight, to be honest. Book of Stabbing is pretty beefy. So our only way to draw cards now is Cut Through Fate. Let's see, we're definitely going to Miracle. So we've got 3 mana to play with. We're definitely going to Empty Fist, because that blocks for 28, basically. So actually it blocks for a little bit more than that, because when we exit we gain block as well. So okay, so we're going to go up to 18 block when we exit the stance. He's attacking for 28. So we need to block for 10 more, and that probably means we're playing 2 of these defends, which means we don't actually have... Oh wait, nope, Coat Clasp. So we need to play 1 defend. Okay, so we do have mana for Cut Through Fate. So we're going to Cut Through Fate first before we battle him, because we could get a 2 mana card and battle him's Mummified Hand proc could go on it. Okay. Neither of these are really what we're looking for. Conclude is good though. So we will keep that around in case it catches the proc. It did not. But Empty Fist did, and we were planning on using Empty Fist, so we are actually going to conclude this turn. So we're going to Empty Fist, defend, conclude after Miracle. So we're fully blocked, so we don't need any Coat Clasp shenanigans here. So we don't actually need to even play a defend at all. I keep forgetting about the block return from the attacks, so we're good for this turn. And it looks like we're not going to use that potion, because this is probably the last turn. I believe Eruption Wallop is lethal. It definitely is. So I'll just do it. Okay. God! This run, I started out with swapping my relic to Ectoplasm, which prevented me from getting gold, which is fine, you know, energy is good. But then later on I've gotten the Courier, which makes merchants better. Ceramic Fish, which gains me gold, which I don't actually get because of Ectoplasm, and Meal Ticket, which makes it so when I enter shops I get money. And now Smiling Mask. So great, I'm just maxed out on how good shops are, except I can't have any money at them. It's so silly. Crescendo is a card that I thought would be in this deck back when I thought this was a Stance Dancing build. It still seems good. Mental Fortress and Crescendo work pretty well together. I'm less convinced now. Draws are pretty valuable. Deck consistency is valuable, and with 25 cards, I think I can't afford Crescendo. Although if it had been offered on floor 5, I would have taken it for sure. Wheel Kick is also worth considering. The deck's damage is pretty low, especially in a fight like that one where we just had, where Conjure Blade didn't quite work. But we've picked up Brilliance and Worship, so I think we're willing to let that supplement our damage instead of Wheel Kick. Third Eye is not good enough, especially since we already have a copy of Third Eye and no Scry synergy. Although Scry is, good by itself. All right, I think we're resting here because otherwise we will die. This is a really unfortunate combination of potions because I need somebody to kill me before the Entropic Brew is good. And normally you don't want to die. Okay, so we want Study to land on Wallop, I guess. We are likely getting attacked for, I think, 18 next turn, because he summons his little floaty guys this turn, and then next turn they attack. So Simmering Fury might be kind of bad. On the other hand, Simmering Fury makes us draw 3 cards, so it's the best way to get an answer. Hopefully this lands on Wallop. Conclude's also pretty good. Okay, got a little bit of damage in. Oh man, they're all attacking. Okay. And we have no way to get out of this form. We've killed ourselves. Oh wait, we do. We have Empty Fist. So Mental Fortress, Empty Fist blocks for a lot. Let's see. Should we? We really don't want Mental Fortress to land on specifically Eruption because there's no way we're playing that this turn. We want it to land on Worship. It's the best case scenario. There's no way we can really optimize for one of those without increasing the probability of the other one happening. It landing on Empty Fist is also good. It landing on Battle Hymn is good. Brilliance is good, and Defend is good. Really, the only bad option is Eruption. So I guess in order to minimize the probability of the bad option, I'll do Mental Fortress first. Okay, we hit Worship. Wow. That's amazing. So we're definitely going to Worship, and then we can Brilliance for 42 damage, so we can actually kill one of these orbs now. So the rest of the turn is probably Brilliance, Empty Fist, Defend. We could theoretically battle him and hope that it hits Defend. Let's see. Actually, if we battle him now, we have a 75% chance of being able to Brilliance, Empty Fist, Defend, because if it hits any of those, we get it. Do we die if it misses? So if it misses, we're taking basically 8 times 4, which is 32, which is not going to kill us. So I think I'm willing to develop Battle Hymn at the risk of maybe dying. Okay, so it hit Empty Fist, so that's great. We get to play Defend. And it turned out that was more block than we even needed, because I was not thinking about Cloak Clasp again. So we hit Conjure Blade before we hit collect, which is kind of a bummer. This fight is long enough that we for sure... yes, we beat the Book of Stabbing. Oh, I will move the webcam. I didn't realize it was blocking that. Thanks for telling me. Oh my god, things are bad. Okay, move myself up here. I've seen some other streamers be up here. It seems like that's the way to do it. Yeah, the Book of Stabbing actually didn't even hurt us. We perfected the Book of Stabbing. So let's see. There's a couple of ways to go about this fight, right? We could conjurate for 4. If we conjurate for 4, it would be doing 36 damage. And then if we're able to do it on a turn where we're in Divinity, then it would do sort of 138 or so. Which seems like good enough. Thanks, Cthulhic, or Cthulhic? Yeah, Cthulhic. No? What? Whatever. So, the real question is, are we okay taking 8 damage this turn? And, yeah, So we want to hit Collect before we hit, before we cast Conjure Blade, I think. Because getting a 4x Expunger on a Divinity turn is probably not going to happen. And even if it does happen, it doesn't kill the boss. It only does like half of his health. So I think that outcome is not good enough. So we're going to Third Eye and then Empty Mind to defray the damage from the orb. And try and work through our deck to get Collect and Talk to the Hands. Insight also will help us get there. Okay, so we found Collect immediately. Let's see. Empty Hand is going to draw us 2 cards. And then I think we're going to want to Collect for 2. So I'm going to shuffle Vigilance because we want to get back to Conjure Blade as quickly as possible. Now that we are cycling through it. Okay. So there's Empty Mind. I'll draw those 2 cards. And then Collect for... Let's see. So for 3, so I can eventually collect like 3 copies of Miracle Plus, which is a ton of mana. So that should put us in good shape. Next turn, I'm probably casting both Talk of the Hands. I'm a little bit concerned there's only 1 strike in there. I could Conjure Blade for 2. It's on the table. But I think I'm going to have 2 Smites in hand, so I think I'm going to be okay. Because he's gonna start shooting us pretty soon. All right, here we go. Collect. Okay, 24 damage is not too bad. A little wrinkle in the plan is Talk to the Hand doesn't work right now. Talk to the Hand would peel off Artifact instead of actually doing damage. And there's nothing else in the deck that does like status effect damage. So there's no other way for me to get rid of those artifact charges. So I think I'm just going to Talk to the Hand on the orb to generate some block this turn. Because our only other way to generate block is this defend, and that's not good enough. So I think the goal this turn is just to block for as much as we can without spending Miracle. I think ideally we want to shuffle without either of these defends in the deck. So we're just shuffling this 15 card deck. And it seems like we can come up with a pretty good strategy for doing that. So this first insight, we currently have 3, 6, 8 cards in hand, so we can cast both insights. First one shuffles. Okay, and now we've got a third eye and a defend plus. So we probably want to use third eye because we want to get. Is he hyper beaming next turn? If he hyper beams next turn, then I won't be able to Conjure Blade. Actually, maybe we just if he hyper beams, we just let him kill us and Fairy in the Bottle go off. But does he kill us through Fairy in a Bottle? Maybe I'm wrong about how Fairy in a Bottle works. So let's third eye and try and get towards. I think the only thing we really care about right now is getting back to Conjure Blade as quickly as possible. So we're just going to mill all these, even though they're good cards on their own. Defend plus blocks for more than strike on this guy. Smite on that guy has some marginal value though of we do need to kill him eventually. So he's hitting for 24. So if we block for 5, let's see, Coat Clasp matters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to have 7 cards if we don't Insight. And I don't think we can Insight because we could draw a Conjure Blade, and that would be disastrous. So we have 8 cards. We're going to be down to 7 because we're going to play one of them. So Coat Glass will block for 7, so it's 17 plus 5 is 22. So we don't want to be taking 2 damage from his attack right now. I think the marginal value from the 12 damage to the orb is much better than the value from the health. Okay, he does not Hyper Beam this turn. We are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards in hand. Gotta get that Conjure Blade this turn. The problem with having Conjure Blade where it is right now is if we have less than 4 cards in this draw pile. Cloak Class goes off before the end of turn discard. Otherwise, it would be basically useless without Retain. And it's a neutral relic. It's not class specific. Okay, so we need to draw Conjure Blade this turn. Yeah. And we've only got draw 4 cards in hand. So it's possible we miss it. Although there's Cut Through Fate and Empty Mind, so it's actually not possible we miss it. We have to hit either one of these 2 or Conjure Blade. Best case scenario, I'm going to go ahead and Miracle, because since we're guaranteed to hit Conjure Blade, this is what we've been saving our mana for. Since we're guaranteed to hit Conjure Blade, there's not really any reason to think about this, but it's significantly better if we hit it in the first one, so there are 4 cards left, because then when an Insight gets shuffled in, there's 5 cards, and then we get to put the Conjure Blade into the next shuffle. So we didn't get that. It's a little unfortunate. We need to make sure we don't overdraw. We've got 3, 6, 9 cards, so we can do 1 more Insight before we have to play a card. Okay, great. So there's Conjure Blade. We're going to go ahead and Conjure Blade for 8, I think. I don't think there's any reason to not do that. We also need to survive a Hyper Beam next turn. We could go into Worship this turn. But I don't think there's any reason to want to do that, unfortunately. It's possible that we go into Worship next turn, and I think if that happens, we just kill him. Because we're getting a Conjure Blade for 8, so that's 72 damage. 72 times 3 is, I don't know, some number. 200 and, oh my god. 13, right? No, 16. 216. Yeah, thank you. Oh my god, math. Oof. So that's not enough to kill him by itself, but I would have a bunch of mana because of worship, and like smites in hand and stuff. So I think that would kill him. That only happens. That's like a like 1 in 20 chance. But hey, 1 in 20 chance of winning on the spot. It's not bad. So there we go. Big old expunger. That's what this deck is all about. Oh my god, he's gonna steal it, isn't he? Oh, okay, well, he's an idiot. I can't believe I didn't see that coming. Whew. Man, that would have really ruined the whole run. Okay, so we did get expunger, which we knew we were getting. I think we're gonna play expunger just because it does so much damage. But we also need to like block for a lot this turn. So there you go. That's some damage. And then vigilance blocks for a ton. And then we're gonna insight to draw. Let's see. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. I think we're gonna use Miracle to smite 2 smites and a brilliance on him. No, I think maybe we'll just do brilliance and smite and simmering fury because he's definitely not attacking next turn. Oh wait, this gets us back empty mind. So we can actually plan on drawing some more cards here. So we're gonna brilliance him for 10, smite him for another 10 block. And then hopefully draw something good. Oh my god, we got worship. Okay, so crap. We got worship, so we can have 3 more mana and 6 block. And then have these smites hit really hard. I think I'm gonna do it mostly because of the block. So now, do we use these 2 blocks? Okay, so we've blocked enough that... Yeah, right? No, Eruption definitely kills us, for sure. Although, I guess it's worth checking if we have lethal, but we don't. I mean, it's theoretically possible that we Entropic Brew into, like... let's see, what would it have to be? I don't think Flexpot does it, even. Although Flexpot does add 15 damage. No, it's not enough. So we've blocked enough that he's not killing us with this attack, and I think that means we are winning the fight without using Fairy in a Bottle, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we can discard it if it comes to it. So I think we want to maintain as much health as we can, but that means missing out on this damage, and that damage is pretty sweet. I think I don't have any justification for this decision, but I think that Defend Plus is better than Smite, but regular Defend isn't. And obviously we want a Simmering Fury so that we're mad next turn. So let's just do that. And then we're going to do at least one of these. Okay, so the rationale for Defend Plus over Smite is that we're going to kill him without needing to smite on this turn. And I actually don't know if there's enough draw in here to guarantee that. He might get another round. If he gets another round, I think he's killing us. Or at least taking a Fairy in a Bottle. Because the only draw in this pile is Cut Through Fate. And we will put in Insight in there, but... and Third Eye. Okay. Yeah. Let's give it a shot. Honestly, we got a lot of block that turn, so we might even survive the next one. Okay. So I think we're gonna cut through fate, discard Wallop, and take the insight. Just so that we can shuffle and get our get the thing. But in order to shuffle, we have to play a card, and that card is going to be in the shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So I'm going to smite, just because my hand's getting kind of crowded. Hey, we found the expunger. That's neat. I think that ends the fight, right? Yeah. Okay, we did it. Is vulnerable better than very normal? Think about that in a second. So there's blasphemy. So judgment is terrible. I'm not going to talk about that one, especially in Act 3. Wish is quite good under normal situations, but the 25 gold is quite a bit worse than normal. And the 25 gold is kind of what you want to be doing with Wish. It's like, Wish can help save you in an emergency, but mainly it's like a side quest to get extra gold for shops. But in this particular deck, the strength is incredibly good. The strength scales with Conjure Blade really well. Actually, I guess that's all it scales with. And Conjure Blade kind of doesn't need your help. It does scale with Wallop as well. So like the dream of upgraded worship into divinity Wallop changes from hitting and blocking for 36 to hitting and blocking for 45 if we have the three strength. Hitting and blocking for 45 is cool. That's quite a bit of setup. And we don't really have the like, this isn't like a 5 energy deck, and we don't have Diva form. So I don't know if playing Wish and blocking is really realistic. And plated armor is it's good, but I feel like it's not as good as the other things this deck is doing. So I think we're going to pass on Wish. If we could just have a free Wish, we would pass, which means it's not part of the card choice, and the same for Judgment. So the real question is, do we want Blasphemy? And Blasphemy does get retain when it's upgraded, but we kind of already have that with Worship for the second time through the deck. And I probably don't have time to upgrade both, because I also want to upgrade that. Obviously, Conjure Blade, which is like the whole linchpin of the deck, needs an upgrade, and Cut Through Fate needs an upgrade too, and this Talk to the Hand. So like, I can't take something if it requires an upgrade, and Blasphemy requires an upgrade. So I think we're going to pass on all of this. Making people vulnerable helps you kill them faster, but this deck tends to kill people like really decisively on like one turn. In which case, vulnerable is not really that useful. So I'm going to pass on that potion as well. So this is, right off the bat, this seems like a Violet Lotus pick. We have a lot of, I was originally planning on this being like a stance dancing build, so we've got a lot of ways to get into Calm, Vigilance, Fear No Evil. I guess we've got more ways to exit stances. It didn't quite pan out as a stance dancing build. It ended up just sort of being a Conjure Blade build. Although now we've got Mental Fortress, so we sort of leaned a little bit back into that. And Violet Lotus is obviously incredible if you're trying to do like Fear No Evil, Empty Mind things. Because then, instead of it just being infinite and draw 2 cards, it's +1 mana and +2 cards and 8 damage. Curse Key is pretty bad because we have Matryoshka, so we definitely want to go to the next chest. And we're not forced to go to the next chest by the missing rune, because we're not planning on going to the heart. The goal here is just to climb ascensions, and you can do that without fighting the heart. Sacred Bark is neat. It doesn't do anything with Entropic Brew. It does work with Fairy in a Bottle, but I can't really control when Fairy in a Bottle is used. So if my potions were better, or if I was able to use gold to get better potions, which I'm not, then I think Sacred Bark would be good. Sacred Bark is incredible in the right circumstance, and so is Kursky. Kursky is honestly probably one of the best energy relics, but I think in this situation they're both worse than Violet Lotus. Right, we got Time Eater, which is always problematic. Not terrible in this situation. Conjure Blade is just one card, and that's... So once we sort of get online, we only need to play enough cards to block, and then we Conjure Blade him to death. It definitely means that we're not picking any more Dance Dance synergy cards, because, that's playing a lot of cards. Let's see. So which path do we want? We want to avoid shops because they're useless, although they do heal us for 15. It seems like this is a pretty difficult path. So maybe we go here, hit these 2 question marks, and get this fire to try and heal up for this elite. But then we're forced to take a second elite right away. And then if we need to heal out of there, we have to go like here or there to heal. Seems bad. This actually heals us a little bit before the elite. It's kind of like a little minor sleep. That could work. I guess if we're really cowardly, we could go here, and then if we're like really screwed, we could go this way, and get this heal here, and then like go to this fire, and then just go to the boss. We don't really need anything else in terms of relics. We could pretty much just fight Time Lord right now. Okay, so defend Third Eye blocks out. I also want to develop Talk to the Hand. I can play all of these. I don't want to play Eruption because then I can't block out. There's not really anything else to think about here. Let's see. Defend is not a good card. Empty Mind is interesting, but I don't want to keep it by itself, because I'm spending a draw on it, and the whole point is you want to draw more cards, so I'll just draw one right now. And Conclude is not good in this fight, or really at all in Act 3. Okay. Alright, we only have to block for 5, and Cloak Clasp will kind of do it for free, so I think we can just Conjure Blade here. Other things we could do, we could Worship Brilliance, Fear No Evil, which is kind of neat in that it does 29 damage and develops 5 Mantra. But I'm pretty happy Conjure Blading for 4 and taking 1. Alright, now we just have to play Find the Conjure Blade. This is scary. We're not in good shape right now. We have 2 powers, so ideally we have Mental Fortress, hit, battle him, and then hit strike, so that we get to collect for 3. Unfortunately, we can, if we miss, then it hits strike, and then battle him also costs 1 and doesn't have anything to hit, so that's kind of awkward. But there's nothing we can do about it. We got the good one. Yeah, this is not good. We're taking 20 right here. Or 19, I guess. Okay, we found Expunger with Talk to the Hand, so that's going to block for 20 by itself. So we should do that. Do we want to Simmering Fury? Simmering Fury lets us shuffle, and it lets us shuffle and with 3 insights. Or actually, technically it doesn't shuffle, it draws us all of these cards because there will be an extra one in there. Yeah, I think we do want Simmering Fury. Do we smite now or smite later? I think we're going to have hand size problems because I've got an insight in hand and I'm about to have 3 more. So I'm going to smite now. And we should be able to kill him next turn. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just... Yeah, he's no more thinking. Fire Potion is pretty good. I like Fairy in a Bottle, but I need to get rid of it so that I can use this Entropic Brew. Oh wow. Second Mental Fortress is kind of nuts. What I really like about it is when we're up against Time Lord, we want to get as much block as possible by playing as few cards as possible. And Mental Fortress does that really well. Because, you know, later I can just play one Vigilance is 8 block plus, you know, 12 from the 2 Mental Fortresses. So. Okay, we're going the Coward route. I love taking this fight, but I'm not going to do it right now, which makes me sad. Just because we don't need more relics, and we're low on health and in risk of dying. Oh boy. I think we might take this heal. I think if we take this heal, we can take the more aggressive elite route. We are never removing this card from the deck. So we could just lose 4 max HP. It probably doesn't cost anything. Maybe. Let's see. So when we heal from going to the shop, that's just 15 straight up. It's not like resting where it's a percentage of missing. And if we continue on the sort of cowardly path, then we do hit 2 fires. So the 4 max HP would end up costing us like 4 healed HP later. We have enough like scry and draw that I don't feel too terrible about the Writhe though. And healing for 15 is pretty bonkers. Obviously this is not an option because it's not very good in the deck and I don't want to die. So I'm going to take the Writhe. Dagger's out. So I think this is probably our fire pot. So conclude. Let's see. So this is 16, which leaves him at 15, which is pretty efficient use of fire pot. So I'm pretty happy with that. But then we are blocking for 8 and taking 4 from the Spiker. So we're still taking 5 more from the Spiker after that. So maybe, let's see what the other... I want to keep that potion slot open. And generally, I expect to get about 10 health from a potion. Which is why it's efficient to use this fire pot here, right? Because it's saving me 11. So if I use the Entropic Brew with the upside of only being able to defray 5 health lost, then I'm not going to want to use any potion that comes out. So I think it's better to just leave it as an empty slot so that I can pick up a potion from this fight if I don't need to spend anymore. So we're definitely defending. We can't both Conjure Blade and Conclude, and we need Conclude, so we're going to Empty Fist on you, and then Conclude. Okay, this is a great turn for hitting the Spiker, because we've got a block already. So we're going to hit him. I don't believe it doubles this damage, although it doesn't actually matter. Yeah, it doesn't. I think I'm going to prefer Simmering Fury over Empty Mind. They both draw cards, but I would rather draw cards next turn when I have mana to spend on them, rather than drawing them right now. Alright, well, this looks scary, but if we Fear No Evil on this, then we go back into Calm, and we're only getting attacked for 9. Or we can just play Vigilance, which does the same thing. The real question is, how are we getting enough block to hit the Spiker this turn? So let's start with Cut Through Fate on the Repulsor. I want that Defend, that seems good. So he's hitting for 9, and I'm going to... So he's hitting for 9, and I want to punch him once. So that's a total of 15. These two hit 15, but that also takes all of my energy. Is there a better way to do it? These hit 15 and don't spend all my energy. So yes, because this is going to get me into Calm anyway. So let's do Third Eye first. I'll keep just Brilliance, because that kills him. And then Defend, and then Fear. What just happened? Why do I have 3 more armor than I thought I did? Oh, the block return from, yeah, okay. So maybe that was not an optimal turn. Yeah, oosh. Okay, I believe Wallop gives you armor before, so with the... I would get 2 from Wallop and 3 from the block return. And then I would take 6, so I would take a negative net 1 damage. But honestly, I have no more damage in the deck, so I would be lucky to take that low. Wreath of Flame Plus is cute with Expunger, and it like gets you to like bonkers levels of damage with like Divinity, but I don't think that's really happening. I don't play a lot of attacks, so it's not like I would block myself out of playing the game, but Wreath of Flame is just, it's a card in the deck, and I have 27 cards in the deck, so I don't think that's happening. Wave the Hands is terrible in all situations, and particularly now, so no. And then Prostrate, this isn't really the deck for it. Well, I do draw a lot of cards, and it would be nice to have something to just like play to get out of the hand, but 2 Mantra is not useful, other than that it charges up Brilliance, because I'm expecting to get into Worship into Divinity by playing Worship twice, and in order for Prostrate to interact with that meaningfully, I'd have to play it 3 times. The 4 block is nice. If I had Fasting or something, Prostrate would be top of the list, but it is not. We're up to 50 health. Taking 2 elites is still sort of aggressive, but it also gets me like 2 extra fires, So let's do it. He's not attacking, so I can just contemplate for 4, which seems reasonable. Okay, he's attacking for 30. We need 16 more block. Wallop is only generating 9 right now. Let's see. And Third Eye is generating 5. So 9 plus 5 is 14. A little bit short, but not a big deal. And then I think we're going to study. So we want study to hit Wallop ideally. So we're going to play Third Eye first. We're not really planning on getting Divinity this fight. And actually, I think I want none of these, because I want Expunger. Okay, now we study and hope it hits Wallop. It did. So we'll do that. And then I think we will Empty Mind. If we hit Expunger, we can play it, so it's not too bad. We did. Okay. Man, it feels bad to skip Mental Fortress and conclude, but this is 24 damage. It's not even that much damage. Maybe I take Mental Fortress instead. No, I think the Maw is a bit of a race, so we need to be making progress. These cards are bad, so let's Insight. Okay, Talk to the Hand is really great. Brilliance helps make incremental progress through the fight. If we Simmering Fury, can we get out of it? No. Most likely. So we're not doing that. So we'll just strike and pass. This is a pretty dangerous situation. He can hit pretty hard. We want Battle Hymn to hit one of these defends. Oh wait, it doesn't matter. We're just playing all the defense and nothing else. Okay, so now we have shuffled our cards. We've developed both Talk to the Hands. Do we need Collect? I guess let's see what we're working with. Okay, there's Expunger. So we would like to be in Wrath. We did not achieve Wrath. Okay, that's fine. We will just Expunger and I guess we'll Smite and conclude. Right, the Maw is bringing the hurt. We don't have any way to stance. Let's Third Eye and then Empty Mind to try and draw the cards that we need. We already have a Mental Fortress in hand, we don't need another one. Boy. Okay, so we're probably shuffling next turn. It would be nice to develop Worship, but it seems like it's unrealistic. Seems like probably Defend Brilliance is the play. Oh wait, Defend doesn't block for more than Empty Fist. So it's probably Brilliance, Empty Fist. I don't know if we're going to make it to the boss here. We chose kind of an aggressive line, and it looks like the deck is not blocking very well. But we'll take the best line that's available. Now that we have Fear No Evil, he's not attacking. He came in. Still can't get a stance. I don't want any of these cards in my shuffle, so let's Insight. we need to be able to kill him next turn, so that we don't die. So let's go into Vengeance and hope we don't die. Okay, Wall Up Brilliance does a lot of damage. We don't have any way of drawing, and he is doing a ton of damage. So Wall Up plus Brilliance is 56 damage, plus 24 is 80. That is not enough. So we are going to take 28 times 4, wow, and probably die. Maybe if I had mantra'd earlier? Yeah, the brew has to be part of this turn for sure. I guess let's look at what it is. Okay, Distilled Chaos saves you like a lot. Also, Duplication Potion Wall Up is probably lethal. Or Duplication Potion Brilliance. So I think we got there. But it was close. Do we take a third Talk to the Hand? I think probably not, but so Signature moves garbage, Crescendo doesn't fit. We don't have enough attacks for all these Talk to the Hands is the real problem. We're kind of depending on Conjure Blade, and like the more cards we put in the deck, the fewer Conjure Blades there are per card. Yeah. Alright, so we're going here, and healing. It would be really aggressive to Smith. Okay, this should be a pretty fine fight. I think so. Collect puts us back on the plan over Conjure Blade. So we're definitely doing that. We could Empty Mind first and look for something else to spend mana on, but I don't think we want to do that. I think what we want to do is Vigilance and then Collect, because I think 3 is enough. So let's do it. Good job, Horn Fleet. So this seems like a pretty simple turn. I think we're just defending and battle hemming. It doesn't matter what the proc hits. So it looks like this gives us some time to develop Mental Fortress. I should probably cut through Fate and see if we can find Conjure Blade, because this is a great turn for it. I'm actually going to Third Eye first, and then cut through Fate, because we have 6 mana left, and that's plenty, I think. It would be really nice to develop Talk to the Hand. Let's see, I only get to draw one of these. Yeah, I'm going to develop 1 Mental Fortress this round, or this cycle. Okay, we did not find Conjure Blade. And we don't need to Smite now, so that's it for this turn. Alright, still no Conjure Blade. Wall Up is only going to heal us for 1 because of the intangible. We can't get out of this form, and if we could, Fear Node would put us back in it. We will develop the Top of the Hand for sure. We want Study's Mummified Hand proc to hit Worship if possible. The miracles are not valid targets. seems like our only way of generating block this turn is smiting to get the block return from top to the hand. And I guess Fear No Evil for the same reason. So we'll just play 2 attacks. I'm trying to manage hand size by using the smite. 2 attacks and then study to hope that it hits worship. Hey, it did. And then we'll develop worship. It's 5 cards, so we'll take a little bit here. That's okay. Okay, here's Conjure Blade. He's not attacking us, so we can just Conjure Blade for 1,000,000. Which seems pretty good. I'm gonna Empty Fist because it gets me 1 more mana. Oh, it gets me 2 more mana. Thank you, Violet Lotus. Do I really need to Conjure Blade for 12? I could just save that miracle for if I'm having a problem in the future. Yeah, I don't think it's helpful to Conjure Blade for 12. I'm going to Insight to see if I can find the blade right now. I can't, and I'm not going to... Oh, I should use this worship. Because then in the future I can go into Divinity. Or should I? Because going into Divinity later triples the damage. You know what it really does is it adds 5 damage to Brilliance. Which I think makes it worth it. Oh, oops, I went into Divinity right now because I was not paying attention. I guess I will just do a bunch of damage. Okay. I might actually Eruption this turn. Oh wait, so Expunger is for 10, so we're gonna do 10 damage with it, even though he's intangible. And that returns 50 block. So yeah, so I'll just Vigilance and Expunger. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, it seems like this deck kind of works better against elites than hallway fights, because hallway fights sometimes just like punch you a lot, but elites are really predictable, and you can gear up for them. Let's see. I want to keep like defensive cards for next turn, because he is invulnerable again. But then after that turn, we should be able to smite him down. Let's cut through Fate. Jesus, okay. I guess we're very insightful. None of these cards block, so we would just be drawing more burns. I will do this block and Insight. Let's see. There's 2 cards there. Brilliance does block for 5. So I want to have 10 cards in hand. I have 9 currently. Yeah, so I will Insight, even though it draws my burn. And then Brilliance, because that blocks for 5. And then we're blocking for 9 and then taking 8 from our hand, so that's not really very helpful. And I will Simmering Fury because that gives me guaranteed lethal next turn. Okay. Centennial Puzzle is fine, I guess. Man, a 3rd copy of Mental Fortress, that's, I don't know. It's, Maybe I need that empty body? God, I'm creeping up on a 30-card deck though. I think probably the answer is none. Yeah, I think we've got enough stuff going on to beat Time Lord, so we're gonna skip. Hey, they're not all attacking. Okay. The only way to generate block in this hand is talk to the hand. I will target this guy because he has the most health. And I think collecting for 2 right now is fine. So I'm going to battle him because it hits Brilliance, and then I can collect and get 2 miracles, which is enough. Okay, now they're all attacking. Let's see, so I have 2 Mental Fortresses and a Fear No Evil, so that's nice. But I also have Conjure Blade and a Miracle, and it would be nice to do that. I don't have any way to exit Calm once I get into it. So I can't generate 24 block, only 12. They are attacking for 18, 29, 42. I'm already blocking for 14, I'm going to block for 12 more. Yeah. Okay. I forgot that these were powers, and that causes them to hit things. I wanted to hit Worship. I also have Study, which is a power, so... doesn't seem like there's really much I can do to target them. Because that one had Smite. So I'm probably going to Smite and Fear No Evil on this one, so I can get the block return. Okay, so they're attacking for 32, or wait, that can't be right, they're attacking for 42. I'm blocking for 30, plus these 4 cards are going to be left in hand. So do I need to defend, and then Conjure Blade for 3? Let's use this weak bot on this guy, and then they're attacking for 6 less. And I can feel pretty good Conjure Blading for 4. Alright, found the other Talk of the Hand. They are not attacking for much. It seems like we probably want to Eruption and like take down this one this turn. We could Miracle to get back into Vigilance, but we don't really need to. Although we can't exit it, which would generate 12 block, which we may need. We could also strike Simmering Fury, kill this one, and set up to Expunger and Empty Fist. Let's see, Empty Fist will do 18, but that isn't enough to kill him. I think we're just going to hold the Miracle. Okay, so he's attacking for 24. I can kill this one pretty easily with Expunger, which would block return, let's see, all 4 times. So that would give me 6. Or I guess 8. And then I will smite just to spend my mana efficiently. And I should be able to finish these 2 off next turn, hopefully. Yeah, okay. None of these, I don't think. Maybe Tranquility is something I need. No, I don't think it is. Okay, Salas Metro Striker. T-Set is great, so is Hourglass against the boss. So that's good. Okay. So we can Eruption Empty Fist to kill one of them. We're going to study first. And I'm going to not Empty Mind to draw nothing. Okay, so I can conclude to kill this one. I would need 5 more damage to kill this one. I think we're going to develop Talk to the Hand, but let's Insight first and see what we're getting. Not very many attacks in this hand. So we can Vigilance to block, although we don't have any block on Stance Change yet. So we're planning on concluding, so we have 3 mana to spend. It seems like they're going to attack for 41, and I'm at 14, so I need to find 27 block. This is only 8, and that's only 8, so that's 16, so that's 11, but then I'll have a bunch of cards in hand, so I'll end up taking like 4 or something. Which seems fine. Okay, I would like to collect this turn, but it doesn't look like I'm getting a big opening here. So I think we're going to have to cut through Fate. We can't change shapes, and we can't attack, so there's neither of those are generating block. This might be time to do the Distilled Chaos. I don't know what Distilled Chaos does if it plays Conjure Blade. It probably takes all my energy, I would imagine. And a 3 mana Conjure Blade is not something I'm really excited about. Well, let's play these powers, because they can hit each other or worship. Maybe should have done talk to the hand first. Yeah, that would have let me collect for one more. I'm going to collect for one anyway, because hopefully I'll be able to Conjure Blade next turn. Man, non-stop attacks from Venomancer. We can't get out of this stance. Alright, so we absolutely have to Distilled Chaos, right? Oh wait, we can Miracle, Conjure Blade, and then Distilled Chaos and hit her for non-lethal damage. That doesn't seem good. We're getting 3 block return, so if we hit her with Conjure Blade, that would give us back 12 armor, which is not even close to enough. The other card here is a Strike, so we would also get 3 armor from that. So we get 15. Okay, so we can Conjure Blade, Insight to draw both of those, and then Distilled Chaos, Miracle, play the Blade and something else. I wish we could play the Wallop off the top of the deck, but we can't. What we really need is for this Distilled Chaos to hit Divinity. If it hits Divinity, we win. So let's plan on that. So we're going to Conjure Blade, draw it, and then, wait, does this actually not work at all? This doesn't work at all, does it? I was assuming it would shuffle and draw, but it doesn't. It just does nothing. Oh, it does. It shuffles and draws. Okay. Well, that's something. What did I get? Defend and Simmering Fury. So that's not good enough. Seems like the best we can do is Expunger and defend. But that's it's going to be it for this character. Oh wait, we survived. Oh my god, I forgot about Cloak Clasp. Cloak Clasp. Jesus. Well, then we got it, right? Now this is easy. Well, that's close. The deck is too full. Okay, so if I go to the shop and go to the fire, then I heal for the most. But then I'm forced into taking this Fire Elite, which almost certainly kills me. So let's avoid that and go to the fire. We can heal the full. We can go get a relic. Healing the full seems like the best option. We're quite highly cursed now, though. Man, what a turnaround. Oh, now that we have a T-set, if we get Conjure Blade on the first turn, it's really good. I think we're just gonna Vigilance, Defend, Collect. Take some damage, but nothing we can do about that. There's Conjure Blade. We can Empty Fist and Fear No Evil to gain some mana, or I guess just Empty Fist gains some mana. So let's do that. If we just Miracle and Conjure Blade, it's for 8. I think we could afford to block with Third Eye here. Those are all quite good, so I'll keep them around, even though it's Expunger further away. I have misplayed this fight terribly. He didn't even kill the Explodey guy. So he's about to hit me for 30. I guess I didn't anticipate getting a hand with such low damage. I thought I'd get an Expunger or Wallop or something. Or at least some card draw, right? Like, I guess I've been relying on that power study to give me my card draw, and I haven't played it yet. Well, there's not much that can be done. I'm going to end up playing all the cards. I'll talk to the hand on him so that I get the block return. And then the order no longer matters. Okay, so we can finally kill the baseball and get out of the fight. Not after losing almost all of my precious new health. I wish that I had not put Worship in the deck. It's a bit late for that. Okay, great, we get to Conjure Blade on 1. Alright, let's cut through Fate. And I think we're going to both Vigilance and Empty Mind, because we need to block. So we're blocking for 22, he's hitting us for 35. We can play whichever one this hits. Let's see, so we're currently blocking for 32. I guess I want more than that. Okay. There's the Expunger. We did that before Simmering Fury because we probably don't want to go into Simmering Fury this turn. This is definitely good enough for the block pot, so we'll use that. And we'll keep these cards in hand for the block. Okay, So we finally get our talk to the hands rolling. Just when I thought the deck was working. Curses. But curses do count as cards in hand, so we're going to have 6 here, which is enough to get us up to 31, which is more than the 28 we need, so we can play Portia. Okay, so we can play Mental Fortress and Fear No Evil to block for a little bit. And then that smite is free. And this gives a ton of block return. So we're blocked out. We'll use Empty Mind, since we've got the snazzy extra energy. To get a couple more attacks in. Alright, should be good to kill him next turn. Okay, so we got through that fight, perfect. Inner Peace, I think, is actually something we want. We definitely need rest or we're going to die. Okay, we got Conjure Blade on 1. It costs us a lot of health, though. I think we're going to defend and Conjure Blade. Alright, well we got Mental Fortress into Vigilance, so that's good. We're probably never playing Study. That makes us play too many cards here. So we're blocked out, so we definitely want to stop. We don't have any powers we want to develop. We need to develop Talk to the Hand, so we'll do that. And then get the block return from Expunger. Currently blocking for 18 versus 32, so we're taking 14. So I will play the defend, even though it ticks him. Looks like we're dying here. So he's attacking for 24, and we are blocking for 4. We have 10 health. So we need to find 10. I guess that that blocks and that blocks more than the 1. So now we're blocking for 10. And there is no way out. Alright, thanks to Akiran Navarra and Kuthlik for joining me on my first stream. Yeah, sorry, F in the chat for to pay respects to the Dead Watcher. Pretty nice score for a losing character. It was a bit of a struggle to get there. Definitely misplayed some of the fights. I think I didn't tell Akiran, I'm an indie developer, so I'm trying to build a community on Twitch so that I can help get some playtesting for the indie games that I'm developing. I don't have anything ready to play yet, but if you watch this space, eventually I'll be doing development streams here and all kinds of fun stuff. I don't have like a Discord or anything yet. For you guys to join. Actually, I'll make one really quick if you guys want to join a Discord. Do you want to join a Discord? Because it would be like brand new. I will send you the link, and that's all for me. Thanks for watching. I will try to stream again tomorrow. Get into the habit of it. Thanks for watching.